Barsham Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom to the elected nation of Israel. This is going to be a lesson on how Yahawah is setting up a royal rumble for all the different nations that exist on the earth, man. And like when you go around the earth, you see that really all of these people, they don't like each other, man, right? Yeah, they're kind of forced to pretend that they like each other because at the moment the world is still somewhat peaceful, right? But when the world really goes bad, all of these people that pretend that they like each other, they might work with people of different nations and all of that. They're gonna show their fangs, man. They're gonna show their teeth, right? This is Isaiah chapter 13. Isaiah chapter 13, and I'll start at verse 6. In fact, I'll read through a bit of this. Isaiah chapter 13 and verse 6. Howl ye, for the day of Yahawah is at hand. It shall come as a destruction from the Almighty, because when that day comes, it's not going to ever go back to a peaceful time again. And like the apostles have been saying, people are going to be longing back for the times of when the lockdowns was here, man. When it really goes bad. They're going to wish that they could just be in their house, but everything else is closed. It's going to get to a point where they ain't going to be able to go nowhere without seeing something crazy happen, man. They ain't going to be able to just go anywhere without seeing or experiencing a harsh time, man. But at the moment, people don't believe in that kind of reality because they ain't seen it yet. Verse 11. Isaiah chapter 13 and verse 11. And I will punish the world for their evil and the wicked for their iniquity. And I will cause the arrogancy of the proud to cease. And I will lay low the haughtiness of the terrible. And most people, when you see them walking through the streets right now, they're proud, man. Right? In particular, women. Right? But even certain men, that they might think that they're tough guys, man. They think they're tough because they're big. They might be big and they go gym and they lift weights. And they think that that means that they can have it in an actual physical altercation when a lot of them can't, by the way. Right? But even those that can, they're going to come to the realization that there's also such a thing as jumping people. You know, there's also such a thing as 5 against 1. There's also such a thing as 10 against 1. There's also such a thing as people not fighting fair and according to the rules of a particular sport, right? Even those professional athletes that are fighters, they fight according to rules. They're not really used to fighting when there's no rules. And that leads me to a video that I remember watching before where there was these UFC fighters and they went to train with some army soldiers, and it was like Rashad Evans, I think Forrest Griffin, I believe his name is, and a couple of other UFC fighters. They went and they were sparring and fighting with these army soldiers according to the rules of the army fighting, right? And they was using prop weapons like batons and stuff like that, and fake guns with bayonets on them and stuff like that, with fake bayonets on them. And all of the UFC fighters, if it would have been real, would have died within the first like 10 seconds of those battles taking place, man, because they ain't used to that kind of thing. Yet for all of that, men are still going to have an easier time in that time than women are. Verse 12, I will make a man more precious than fine gold, even a man than a golden wedge of Ophir. Whereas right now in this world, it's only a certain type of man that's seen as anything special, right? Normally, a man that's a demon and is wicked, right? But they get praise in this world. But a time's going to come where that's not going to be what's happening no more. It's going to be the men that know what's going on. The men that actually have been waiting for this time to take place, right? And there's going to be certain people that are going to try and blag and make it like they really know what's going on. And they're going to try and talk about their false prophecies that they think is going to happen, but they ain't ready. They ain't going to be telling it all the way true, man. They ain't going to be telling the people that this is going to lead to the Karagma, Revelation 13 and verse 16. They're going to try and push it in some kind of way like, oh, it's the elites versus the poor or some kind of stupidness like that, man. Verse 12, I will make a man more precious than fine gold, even a man than a golden wedge of Ophir. Now let me jump down to the point that I was trying to make before. Isaiah chapter 13 and verse 14, and it shall be as the chase roll, and as a sheep that no man taketh up. They shall every man turn to his own people, and flee every one into his own land. So people are going to run to their own countries, right? If someone's from Egypt, they're going to go back to Egypt. If someone's from China, they're going to go back to China. If someone's from the Philippines, they're going to go back to there. right? If someone's from Scotland, they're going to run back to there, right? But if they, in the places where they can't do that, they're going to turn to their own people within those places that they live, right? And Esau's made a bigger point of trying to make the world be a melting pot, right? Where all these different nations are intertwined with each other, but that's not actually a good thing, because people need to have a time where they are around their own people. And it goes even deeper when you read the scriptures, because people need to even be around their own tribe. Because Yahawah's made even the tribes of Israel be different, man. The tribe of Benjamin has a different spirit on it than the tribe of Gad, right? The tribe of Gad and the tribe of Benjamin are not similar at all. And even though the tribe of Benjamin and the tribe of Levi will look similar, they ain't even the same in spirit. They're very different. The Puerto Ricans, the tribe of Ephraim, they're different than the Mexicans. So even in that, you need to have your own time to be around your own tribe and people that are more like you, man. But this world doesn't allow for that, really. It doesn't allow for it, really, man. There'll be certain parts, even in the UK, where that seems like it's the case, but it's not 100%. So then there's still that friction whenever one group of people from another nation sees another. And the time's going to come where that's all going to explode, man, and turn into violence, right? And mistrust among people. Isaiah chapter 13 and verse 14 again, and it shall be as the chase roll, and as a sheep that no man taketh up, they shall every man turn to his own people, and flee every one into his own land. Everyone that is found shall be thrust through, and everyone that is joined unto them shall fall by the sword. And you already know what that's going into. Verse 16, their children also shall be dashed to pieces before their eyes. Their houses shall be spoiled, and their wives ravished. Now that ain't nothing nice. That's not a nice time, you know. That's a very hard time people are gonna have to live through, man. And then all the things that people enjoy now, sports, like you have people that are watching football, people that watch boxing and all these different things. But the time's gonna come where people ain't gonna care about none of that. Their mind's not gonna be on any of those things. Their mind's gonna be turned to a completely different narrative, man. Their mind's gonna be on surviving 1 hour to the next, 1 minute to the next, 1 day to the next. They ain't gonna be thinking about weekly plans. Like right now, certain people get paid weekly, or they get paid fortnightly, or they get paid monthly, and they're thinking about, okay, what I'm gonna do with my next week's salary, or my next month's salary, or my next fortnightly salary. Or that if some of them will be even so comfortable right now that they'll be thinking about what they're gonna do with their salary after like a couple of months, man. And they'll be certain that it's gonna get there, because Yahawah's allowed them to keep their pride. He's allowed them to experience that kind of lifestyle where they can set a 5-year plan, a 4-year plan, a year plan, and it works for them. Whereas for those of the elect, it don't really work, man. The actual plan that we might have thought in our mind could work, will work. But Yahawah will just make it not work for us, right? Verse 16, the children shall also be dashed to pieces before their eyes. Their houses shall be spoiled and their wives ravished, right? Yahawah is going to set up a very harsh time, man. A time that no one's ever really experienced in their life before. Second Ezra chapter 15 and let me go to verse 6. For wickedness have exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their hurtful works are fulfilled, right? This earth right now, man, has got so much madness going on in it, so much violence, so much wars, right? America is literally a country that's founded on the slavery of one people and the stealing of another's land, and both of those people were Israelites. But yet everyone tells them to get over it. But then whenever anyone else has got an affliction or some kind of crime that's happened to them, we're supposed to march, and we're supposed to cry, and we're supposed to get involved and pick a side in what's going on. But no one ever picked no side for us. They always just told us that it wasn't us that went through it. So get over it. But then now that there's people in other countries getting blown up and all of these things, they wouldn't want to hear us saying to them, well, you ain't been blown up, so get over it. They wouldn't want to hear that. But they felt comfortable telling us that kind of thing though, haven't they? They felt comfortable to tell us that that's what we should do. But they don't want to be told that themselves. And it's things like that is going to lead into a lot of the thing that's going to be taking place, man. Like Karens, all these Karens that be giving the Israelite woman hell, getting on her nerves. right? The time's gonna come where the Israelite woman's gonna run up on some of these women, man. In time where they just meet them out in public, and that the 2/3 Israelite women, they're gonna be getting their vengeance on the wicked Edomite woman, man. And vice versa, it's gonna go both ways. It's gonna go both ways, man. It's gonna be a mad time. Verse 7. Therefore saith Yahawah, I will hold my tongue no more as touching their wickedness, which they profanely commit. Neither will I suffer them in those things in which they wickedly exercise themselves. Behold, the innocent and righteous blood crieth unto me, and the souls of the just complain continually. So not only the people that are in the heavens are complaining to Yahawah, sighing and crying for how wicked this world is, but the people on the earth, we're crying about how wicked this earth is, man. Right? And Yahawah setting a mark upon those men that sigh and cry for the abominations that are done in the midst thereof. But some people are doing the abominations and they don't think that there's nothing wrong with them, man. It's crazy how much some of you people believe in this world, man. That there's not really no brightness in this place. But people try and make out as though there is. And then when they get told the solution, they don't want to hear it. But then even these celebrities are exposing things, man. Like you had Cat Williams talking about all the stuff that's going on in Hollywood and all of that, right? And that video received like 25 million views after 3 days. But then it received 25 million views after 3 days. And people are all in the comment boards praising Cat Williams for telling the truth and all of that, yeah? But how long has he known all that information? He been known that. All of those things that he's talking about, he's known them for ages. Why all of a sudden now is he talking? Right? Why all of a sudden now is he kind of come out and say something? But, and to be fair, he has always kind of said stuff about what goes on in there, right? But people always try and praise the famous man that says something, right? But the poor man that says something, people don't give a damn when he speaks, right? And Cat Williams has seen the Hebrew Israelites on the street, and he didn't really want to stop to talk. Not really. He didn't really want to stop to say nothing, man. He just kept it moving after a while. On that video that I saw anyway. Verse 7, and therefore saith Yahawah, I will surely avenge them and receive unto me all the innocent blood from among them, because this world has been is the criminal, man. That this world is one whole big criminal, really, that's destroyed our lives, man, and tried to make our lives miserable all the time. Right? They're always out to try and get us. They always make sure to try and show us how much they hate us, but then they're always shocked when we don't want it, when we don't care about them. Here it is, they go out of their way to try and make our lives miserable, but then when we don't like them back, then they act surprised and try and call us racist when they're racist to us anyway. So what difference does it make? Right? What difference does it make, man? They don't like us, so why do they care if we don't like them? Verse 10, behold, my people is led as a flock to slaughter. I will not suffer them to dwell. I will not suffer them now to dwell in the land of Egypt, which is talking about America. America is the new day Egypt, man. And if all you people want to say, oh, nah, America is not the new day Egypt, this is talking about, well, show me where those people that are calling themselves J-Wish, that wear them stupid hats on their head, show me where they're in Egypt and need to get salvation. Show that to us. But you people can't do it, man. Verse 11, but I will bring them with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm, and smite Egypt with plagues as before, and will destroy all the land thereof. Meaning that America is going to be destroyed, man. And all you people that want to ask why, well, look it up. Look up what that country's did. And if you look it up and you're honest, then you shouldn't ask a stupid question like why. You should know why. Verse 12, Egypt shall mourn, and the foundation of it shall be smitten with the plague and punishment that Yahawah shall bring upon it. They that till the ground shall mourn, for their seed shall fail through the blasting and hail, and with a filth of consolation. And that's going into crops, but it's going to also go into all kind of business, man. All the things that people are trying to invest into and think that they're going to make a killing later on. It's all going to be, all of you people that do make a killing out of it, it's going to be a snare anyway. All you people that you think you got some cryptocurrency and all of that, there's going to become one way that you can pay with those cryptocurrencies. There's only going to be one method that you can use to pay with that pay that with, man. And it's going to require it going in your hand or your head. And if you don't believe it, well, do your research. You've researched into the cryptocurrencies, so research the payment methods that they're inventing to use those things. Look up that. Since you people think you're going to become millionaires, well, look that up then, right? Look that up. Isaiah chapter 15 and verse 14. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh. Meaning that the time's going to come where they're going to get destroyed, man. And the sword's going to be upon the earth. It's coming close. That time's coming close, man. And all you people that don't like each other, everyone that thinks they're tough, all you men that think that you're attractive, all you men that you think you're rich, and you got a new 2024 car, new 2023 car and all of that, right? You're all going to get your chance, man, to show just how tough you are, just how wise you are, just how rich you are, and you're going to get to see if that's going to help you, man. You're all going to get the chance. Every single one of you. Verse 15, woe for the sword and the destruction draweth nigh, and one people to stand to fight against another, and swords in their hands. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. So what's that going to be? That's going to be how when the government tries to roll up, or when the police officers try and roll up, people are going to be not trying to hear that, man. Like you had recently this Jake that jumped over the in the courtroom. The judge was getting all proud. He was saying, "Oh, I think he needs a little taste of something else because I ain't really liking his criminal history," right? He was making mockery out of his criminal history and all of that. Not really trying to take anything he was saying seriously. Which, if he was a demon, well, he knew what he was doing when he did all of those crimes, right? And I wouldn't want that guy near me anyway, right? But a judge is supposed to be serious, not trying to act like they're some comedian, stand-up comedian and nothing like that. Just relax yourself and do the judgment, man, and take your job seriously, because you're making decisions on somebody's rest of their life potentially. But she was trying to mock him and all of that, right? So he ran up, jumped over the counter, didn't care about any of that anymore, and started punching her up, man, right? And then the two security or police officers that was there, when the one guy got off him, right, when he got off, and he was like talking about the guy's strength, I believe he says on the video, man, that guy was a monster, dude, because he was souped up off anger, man, and rage. And he said, man, that guy was a monster, dude. That's what he said. He said he said his strength felt like a monster, because rage can bring that out of you, man. Rage can make you take on 10 men if Yahawah puts the spirit on you. How do you think King David was defeating, and how Saul was defeating, and how Job was defeating so many men in battle? Because Yahawah put the spirit on them, man. When Yahawah puts the spirit on you to fight, you'll be able to take on anyone. You'll be able to take on anything. And for clowns like Volkan Malone, yes, you will even be able to throw a tank. You will be able to do all of that, man. You can't try and say you believe in any book, that you believe in a holy book. Anyone that says that they believe in any book, I think this is holy. If they hear that someone says they can throw a tank, they shouldn't laugh at that. Because the books have got creation stories in there. And if you believe those creation stories, well, how could you not believe that somebody could do such a small thing as throw a tank then? Verse 16, especially the Bible, which is the only book I care about. Verse 16, for there shall be sedition among men and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. A man shall desire to go to a city, and shall not be able, for because of their pride the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbour, but shall destroy their houses with the sword, and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread, and for great tribulation, and anywhere where people are living amongst each other, man. There's going to be violence. First, it's going to separate into tribal or national. Oh, he's a different colour, or he's a different nationality to me, so I'm against him. First, it's going to go like that initially. But then it's going to be a thing where those people that are trying to split according to nations, they're going to switch on each other, man. They're going to turn on each other. It always goes that way, right? When famine starts to come, it always goes that way. When the lockdown came, all you people was running around, scooping up the hand sanitizers, right? Scooping up the pastors, scooping up the water, right? Grabbing up all the tissues you can get, filling up the trolley with so much toilet roll, right? Probably still using that toilet roll now. Some of you bought so much, probably still ain't had to go back and buy any for the last 3 years since the lockdown started, with how much tissue some of you clowns bought, man. But just the fact that people are like that shows that people that already know what it is when it really goes down, man. They already know what it is, but they just put on a facade now. But when it really goes down, they're going to show exactly what they really think, man, and exactly what they really believe. Verse 20 again, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbour, but shall destroy their houses with a sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation, meaning that there's going to come a time where there's lack of food, man. And lack of food really makes people go mad. When we do the Day of Atonement, right, we start feeling real hungry within about the halfway mark of that. And then when it gets to like the 75% mark of it being finished, then you really feel hungry, man. And you start thinking, man, I want to eat, I want to drink, but we don't do it though. But imagine if that Day of Atonement type of mindset was lasting weeks, where you feel like you just can't get any food. How are people going to be acting? No one ain't going to be caring about a woman's stinky BBL when they ain't got no money, when they ain't got no food. No one don't care about that kind of thing when they thingy. Food trumps a man's lust. When a man's extremely, extremely hungry, he ain't thinking lustful thoughts. He's thinking about eating. And then once he fills his belly, that's when a lustful thought might come in. But when a man's hungry, he's thinking about food and sustaining himself. Right? But like I said anyway, man, the overall point of this video was that Yahawah's going to make a battle royale, man, for all the different nations and for all these people that they don't really like each other, but they put on a facade. Like when it comes around the December time, everyone tries to make out like they really like each other, but they don't. And then back when it gets to like end of January, February, they're back to being the same demons that there was before anyway, man. But when it's that New Year, that like week from like Christmas, so-called Christmas Eve to New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, everyone puts on that facade, man. And even leading up to that time, but now they're gonna gradually go back to being what they're really on, which is hating each other, man. I'm gonna end the lesson there. All praises to Yahawah, Ba'asham Yahweh Shai, Ba'asham Rakar Kwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom to the elect of the nation of Israel. Shalom.